I didn't know that it was actually a thing that you could sell products on Amazon. It was so foreign to me that I was like, wait, you can send products to Amazon, to a fulfillment center, and they'll fulfill all my inventory. And my mind was like blown.
Everyone's asking, right? Like, where's the leverage? Where can I leverage, an opportunity that's undervalued with Amazon advertising? And I tell everyone, video ads. You need to invest in video ads. Hey everyone, and those that are listening here live with us at MZy&x. I am here with Trevin Peterson. Trevin, thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely, it's an honor.
We're gonna spend some time today talking a little bit about Amazon ads, the evolution of Amazon ads over time. But Trevin, start off maybe just telling us a little bit about your background selling on Amazon.
Yeah, so it all started back in 2017. I didn't know that it was actually a thing that you could sell products on Amazon. It was so foreign to me that I was like, wait, you can send products to Amazon, to a fulfillment center, and they'll fulfill all my inventory. And my mind was like blown. And I got so excited that I just went home and I was like, I need to do this. Like, this is the light at the end of the tunnel. Because at the time I was not in a place that I wanted to be. And so as the time went on, I just started launching products, started kind of figuring things out. And before I knew it, I just kind of started to see a lot of success where I got to the point where that was my full-time income. That was all that I did. And that has been 8 years since 2017. And I have never looked back since.
Yeah, and I know that me and you have a similar journey after kind of connecting offline. I got started with my brand around 2018. So similar sort of time frame, right? 2017, 2018, up until now, 2025. And I think we can both agree a lot has changed over 7 or 8 years.
Absolutely.
A lot has changed just with the business model in general. Amazon has expanded a lot in a lot of other areas just outside of Amazon ads. But specifically when we talk about Amazon advertising from, let's say, 5 years ago till now, like 2020 till now in 2025. From your perspective, what was Amazon advertising like just 5 years ago, and how have you seen it evolve to today?
I mean, even from when I started in 2017 to 2020, there was a change. And then from 2020 to now, there's a big change. And it just comes down to, it was very basic. There wasn't much customization. It was basically focused on sponsored products. The bid and campaign types were very limited. And it was essentially just like, hey, target these keywords in an automatic campaign or a sponsored products campaign. And that's basically the extent of it. There wasn't the sponsored brands aspect. Mm-hmm. And so for the most part, it was, just create a campaign and kind of let us do its thing.
Yeah, I feel like from my angle too, same sort of thing where I feel like it was very search results based with the advertising. I think a lot of us are familiar with how Amazon works. You go to Amazon, you search for a product, they've got a search results page, and then there's different products and offerings that you could purchase as a customer. And again, those sponsored products ads are very much focused on the search results. So that search results page, getting your product listing higher up in the search results at the top of search is a placement referred to, right? Or even having it show up, maybe you're a brand new product or new seller. So there might be dozens or hundreds of other products that have been selling for much longer. So, advertising to get your product seen quicker, easier in the search results, that was the core focus. But, like you mentioned, sponsored brands gives people additional ways to advertise. And in the search results on product pages and other placements, how have you seen sponsored brands campaigns open up new ways to advertise?
Yeah, what's cool is sponsored product is still great. It works awesome. But sponsored brands opened up a whole new kind of door of opportunity. And I know for me, when I first jumped into it, it was a blue ocean. Mm-hmm. And there's still a lot of aspects of it because people aren't taking advantage of it. They're kind of still stuck in their old ways of just focusing on sponsored products. And so for me, sponsored brands, one of the very first things that I remember, and still to this day that works the best, is sponsored brand video ads. Mm-hmm. They work so well. And I mean, you have control of the content, which content element is very important, especially in today's day of age. Like, content is king. And if you can create a good piece of content that explains and showcases your product, and it's a catchy video, and then you plug it into a sponsor brand video ad, and then you're targeting specific relevant keywords, the conversion is unbelievable. The profitability is unbelievable. And they're some of my lowest, I guess, ACOS performing campaigns, most profitable campaigns. And then not only that, it will help with the organic ranking on top. So for me, it's been a great, I guess, lever to pull of, hey, let's just create a video. And what's awesome, I talk about how content is king, and I definitely recommend split testing different types of videos, but I've seen the most basic video, like we're talking basically just a slideshow, perform better than anything I've ever seen. And so it's not as complex as what people think. And I remember, and still to this day, there's a lot of sellers that are like, oh, well, I just don't have the budget for video, or I can't do a video. Like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, it is so easy. Like, there's so many different tools and resources that you can create a very basic video and you can get some amazing results.
And I've been sharing this with my audience as well for probably the past year or two. Like, really focus. Everyone's asking, right? Like, where's the leverage? Where can I leverage, an opportunity that's undervalued with Amazon advertising? And I tell everyone, video ads. You need to invest in video ads. Just like you, I've seen it with my own brand. Some of my best performing campaigns are my video campaigns. And I think there's a lot of theories on why that might be, but kind of like what you said, I feel like that is how you can truly tell your story and really convey your product, features, benefit, value, all the things. I mean, think about it as a customer. Like, as a customer, if you even broke it down to the simplest, where it's like, let's say there's no images at all and you're just relying on words. A phrase that I like to use with people is, I believe that customers trust their eyes more than they trust your words. So I think about, people optimizing an Amazon product listing with a title, with the bullet points. And you can write words. You can write how amazing your product is and write it, all the different features and benefits. But customers are going to trust their eyes more than your words. So with their eyes, they're going to see photos of your product. They're going to see videos of your product. And that's what's going to really help them decide, do I really want to buy this product or not?
100%. And one thing that I want to add on this, and I think this is a golden nugget for a lot of people because people aren't using it, and it's when it comes to Amazon influencers. So along the same lines of this, videos. So for those that don't know what Amazon influencers do, is they'll make a video talking about your product, and it will get displayed on your product detail page, which will give you the credibility. So when people come, again, they're seeing the product, and it's not coming from the brand. It's coming from like an actual real person. And so it is immediate trust. So that will help with conversions. But what you can also do is you can actually contact these influencers and get those videos. And you can use those videos in your advertising campaigns. And that is another fantastic, super affordable way to get these videos that are real, genuine, just honest reviews of them talking about the product. Because I feel like right now in today's day and age, we don't know what's real and what is on the internet. Like, it's very hard. And so just sometimes the super professional, like, massive production videos actually don't convert as good as just genuine raw content. Obviously, that's where you have to split test. You have to try different things. It's going to be dependent on your brand. But I just wanted to kind of throw that out there for those that are running sponsored video ads. That is another way to get videos and just improve your overall, I guess, conversion rate.
And Amazon does make that really easy too through the Creator Connections program.
Yep.
Right there in your advertising console, you can access the Creator Connections.
I don't think most people even know what Creator Connections is.
I was talking about this earlier today, funny enough, but there's so many tools and features that I think people just don't explore. Because like what we said, like 5 years ago, something worked really well for them. And so you kind of just get tunnel vision on that, and you forget that there are new features being released all the time, and you got to test. Again, if you want to find the leverage, like, where's the leverage? We're saying right now, last year, maybe last 2 years, video. It might be different, a year from now, 2 years from now. I think another big shift too that I've seen over the past 5 years as well, kind of on this journey, is I feel like in the advertising space specifically, 5 years ago, all the talk was on advertising cost of sale, or ACOS. A lot of people refer to it as that. Now, a lot more people are focusing on total advertising cost of sale. Why do you think there has been that shift? Why do you think focusing more on total advertising cost of sale, or tacos, I know some people call it that, has become, again, more important today?
Yeah, tacos versus ACOS.
Yeah.
I know for me, everyone is like, oh, my ACOS is too high. And they just focus on ACOS and that's it. But what they don't realize, and it's funny because this is a kind of a misconception with sellers, is they have this number in mind for an ACOS. And that's not the way that you should do it, because what they don't realize is, yes, your ACOS might be higher, it might not be profitable, but if you take a step back and look at the bigger picture and you incorporate and include the organic sales, you are actually sometimes very profitable, and more profitable than what you would think. And so it's, with Amazon being a search engine, the whole goal is to try to obviously get ranked for these different keywords. And if you can get the organic rank for hundreds of keywords, well, that's going to offset the campaigns where you're trying to get the rank. So you might have, let's say, 100 keywords where you are in the top results, but then there's 20 that you're trying to work into it. Those 20 working into it, yeah, you might bleed a little bit of money. You might not be as profitable, but when you look at the organic rank, it offsets. And then before you know it, those 20 become the organic, and you just kind of rinse and repeat, and you want to add more. I guess the goal is to get more organic ranking for as many keywords as possible. And the way that you do that is by being a little bit more aggressive with your advertising. And if you're just solely focused on ACOS and that's the metric that you're looking at, you're going to be like, I'm losing all my money. This is not working. This is not converting. But again, just take a step back and you're like, oh, wow, if I do this over here, it affects and benefits over here. So that's why it's super important. And still, even to this day, people don't understand that. But definitely back when we first started, nobody was talking about tacos. Mm-hmm. Nobody. Mm-hmm. And now it's something that is like, hey, you need to understand that. I also look at the break-even ACOS, like understanding those different numbers of like, okay, how much can you spend to acquire a customer for break-even? And then you have these different calculations and you're like, okay, maybe I can be a little bit more aggressive. Maybe I should allocate a little bit more budget over here. And actually knowing the numbers, that's kind of the most important part. And I just feel like most people don't even know the numbers.
I have a really interesting case study. I shared this recently, but this happened just this past year, where I was working with a brand in particular, helping them with their advertising. And they were, they're checking their metrics. They're seeing their advertising cost of sale. And they were early. They had just launched their products. They had been selling on their own website. They just launched their products. I helped them launch their products in January of this year. And so we're investing in advertising, and we're launching new campaigns. We're testing out new features. And they were coming back to me a little bit concerned, saying, Andy, like, we're seeing growth, we're seeing revenue, but our profit isn't really picking up. What's happening? What's going on? And I kind of had to tell them, I was like, you just need to trust the process. You're growing your brand. Like, again, we're spending more on ads. Our revenue is improving. It's just going to take a little bit of time. And then we got to that point where, profitability turned. We're getting really good organic sales. We're getting good advertising sales. And overall, their tacos, or total advertising cost of sales, was starting to drop, which obviously means more profitability. I
think people give up too quick as well.
Yeah.
Like they look at that number. Again, the ACOS is right in your face, and they're like, oh,
yeah, exactly.
This is it. And then they just turn it off. But it's like, hey, see it through, look at the bigger picture. And as you do that, then the reward pays off.
Yeah. Optimizing takes time. It takes time. There's a lot of new challenges that have come over the past 5 years of kind of our journeys, 7 to 8 years, I guess we could say. What are some challenges that you have seen sellers facing, maybe particularly related to Amazon advertising?
Honestly, I think that people look for a silver bullet and a one-size-fits-all solution of, I just need to learn this one hack, or I need to learn how this one thing works. And if I do this one thing, it's going to solve all my problems. That's just not realistic in how it works. You have to understand that in order for PPC to work properly, yes, you need to understand the data. You need to look at the analytics, the insights, and make educated decisions. But you also have to look at the other side of the coin, which is your actual product. And a lot of people will come to me, they're like, Trevin, my product isn't selling, and like I'm spending a lot in PPC and I'm doing this. And then I look at their product, I'm like, they don't have a well-optimized listing. And if you have bad reviews, if you have bad images, you don't have video in your listing, if you don't have Amazon influencer videos on your listing, well, you driving all of this traffic with PPC, it's not going to convert. And so I think that is an issue that people have, is they think that just by spending money, it's going to produce results, but they have to look at the other components for it to work. So that would be, I guess, my biggest thing is there's not a one size fits all. Each category is very different and each product is different. And that's just kind of the approach that you have to take it.
I feel like something that I've seen too recently is sellers that I work with, at least they tend to think that what worked for someone else, maybe they saw a video on YouTube, they heard a podcast, they think that what worked for someone else should work for them.
Yep.
When in reality, every product, every brand performs differently with Amazon ads. I have people I've worked with where manual targeting product category campaigns do extremely well. Another product doesn't do as good.
Yep.
Sponsor product, sponsor brand, different broad phrase, exact match targeting. You could have, even within my own brand, just speaking on my own brand, I have multiple different SKUs and products. I'll have certain products where keyword broad campaigns perform very well. They're my best performing campaigns for that product. Another product, even as small a change as a variation of the same product. It's not even fundamentally a different product. Same product, different variation. Keyword broad, not as good. Keyword exact performs fantastic.
Yep.
So again, don't get locked in. Not only don't get locked into your own ways, but don't get locked in thinking, oh, because you saw this video that, it's going to perform the same for your own.
There are some universal strategies that carry over for sure. And there is one strategy that I talk about, and it works pretty well across the board, but sometimes it doesn't. And just a 30-second little hack for you guys. You guys should try this campaign. Go create an automatic campaign, select all of your products in your catalog. So if you have 100 products in your catalog, select all 100, set the budget to $75, and then do plus or minus dynamic bid of 20%, and then put the bid at 12 cents and just let that run.
That is sauce right there.
It's great.
You're just to tell me that one again from my own.
So you guys can try that. From what I've seen on mine, it works great. And then some people are like, dude, this is the craziest campaign. And then others, it's like, it's not generating very many sales. So it's either going to do really good. It's not going to be a strategy that drives like an insane amount of traffic, but it's going to be very profitable traffic.
That's awesome. Last question that I want to close with today is, we've seen the evolution of Amazon. We've seen the evolution of Amazon ads just over the past 5 years. How do you see Amazon advertising and the different, campaign types and features and things we've talked about as a full funnel solution now?
I think it's kind of cool because people on Amazon are trying to accomplish maybe different things, and there's solutions for everything. And so if you're just looking to get brand awareness, you can do that. There's campaigns for just brand awareness. If you are looking to do just sponsored products and you're looking to target very specific keywords, you can do that. Now, for me, it makes sense to do a mix of all of them.
Absolutely.
And so you can create awareness, which again, before you could not. And that's kind of been the evolution where, again, you couldn't create that awareness because they didn't even have the sponsored brands and the different types of campaigns that they have now. But it just allows you the ability to really do and customize what you're trying to accomplish. And it's really cool to kind of see that progression unfold.
I agree, 100%. Trevin, thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.